Hello and again, welcome to this channel. It's a beautiful day for a watching of new top 10. If you're not subscriber, subscribe now and like this video. Well, let's go. Number 10. Submarine Titans is a real-time strategy game for Windows. It was developed by Ellipse Studios and released on August 2000. The game takes place in the 22nd century, in which a comet has struck Earth, driving humans to establish underwater bases. The comet also brought aliens to Earth, who now compete with the two human factions. The game features three factions: the militant white sharks, the scientific black octopi, and alien silicons. Each faction has unique units and technology trees, and various strengths and weaknesses. Number 9. Silent Hunter 5: Battle of the Atlantic is a submarine simulator developed by Ubisoft. It is the fifth and latest installment of the Silent Hunter franchise and a successor of Silent Hunter 4, Wolves of the Pacific. Like Silent Hunter 2 and Silent Hunter 3, it places the player in command of a German U-boat during World War II, during the Battle of the Atlantic. The game released in March 2010. Step behind the periscope of a German U-boat and take on the Allied forces in famous battles across the vast Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean Sea. The best-selling submarine series of all time continues with the highly anticipated Silent Hunter: Battle of the Atlantic. Number 8. Death is an indie video game, developed by Digital Confectioners, and released in 2014. It is a multiplayer game pitting a number of treasure-hunting divers against sharks. It is a first-person shooter which takes place in underwater environments. The player can play as either a diver or a shark. Divers purchase weapons based on both collected treasure and kills. Sharks gain new abilities by eating the opposing team. Each team has a limited number of respawns. The first to run out is the loser. The complex relationship between hunter and prey is exciting enough to keep you coming back. Number 7. Diluvion is an exploration game with role-play elements and thrilling submarine combat. The game is to be released on February 2017. Diluvion, despite the neglected narration, makes you feel as if you were in the books of Jules Verne, who always had a lot to say and tend to unwittingly get involved into some sort of trouble every time they dock somewhere. The locations are quite evocative of the mighty, massive and malicious ocean. Although they're not gigantic themselves, the decks provided a great balance between unconstrained travel, combat and story-based missions. When simply cruising, you can feel the traveled distance, but it doesn't become boring. You're en route, and it feels right. If, on top of that, you get lost, and happen to discover a wreckage with some nice hidden loot, the feeling's even better. Number 6. FarSky is a survival adventure game, developed by FarSky Interactive. Released 8 April 2014. Players take on the role of a man who is lost to the ocean depths after his submarine crashes. Players must gather resources for base building, crafting weapons and equipment, and maintaining his health. He must explore the randomly generated underwater world in order to achieve his goal. FarSky is considered the underwater Minecraft. In order for players to explore farther out into the sea, they must gather supplies to upgrade varying equipment like their helmet, diving suit, and oxygen tank by collecting gold. It also features responsive controls with the combat sequences that never seem to get boring. Number 5. Aquaria is a side-scrolling action-adventure video game designed by Alec Holoka and Derek Yu. The game was released in 2007. As the game opens, Naya has lost almost all of her memories and is unaware of the world outside of her home as she lives as a simple creature. The player is told this in voice-over narrations in the form of a story told by a future Naya. These narrations serve as the primary source of information about Naya. Throughout the game, Aquaria is quite a stunning effort from such a small team, and it's hard not to be won over by the game's sense of atmosphere and visual style. Aquaria is much more old school in its approach to visuals, utilizing hand-painted environments and creatures. Number 4. ABZU is an adventure video game developed by Giant Squid Studios and published by 505 Games for PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Microsoft Windows. The game was released on August 2016. The game emphasizes swimming and exploring peaceful interactions with aquatic animals. It simulates the shoaling and predatory behaviors between fish, and incorporates interaction with them. The progression through the game is linear, rather than open-world sandbox, though the environments are designed to be explored. Individual chapters of the game are set in different areas of the sea, including caverns, deep oceanic areas, coral reefs, and flooded ruins. ABZU takes the graceful feel of movement and subtle push toward discovery and builds a refreshing yet simple underwater adventure around it. The colorful settings, beautiful soundtrack, and basic controls made it a great, interesting experience. ABZU relishes in giving you freedom to simply enjoy exploring the fascinating deep blue sea. Number 3.
You know what sucks about dying? The crash.
SOMA is a science fiction survival horror video game, developed and published by Frictional Games. The game was released on September 2015. SOMA takes place in an underwater research facility known as Pathos 2, while the station itself is now in a state of disrepair. The player quickly establishes that Pathos 2 was a group of stations scattered around the North Atlantic Ocean, originally functioning as a space gun, or more precisely, a mass driver, an installation designed to send objects into space without the hassle of building expensive rockets. Unexpectedly, the crew of Pathos 2 became the last people to exist on Earth after a comet impact caused a major extinction event. There, the last humans survive on a day-to-day basis, attempting to fight the negative effects of their collective isolation. During this period, the machines in Pathos 2 begin to develop human characteristics and a consciousness. Number 2. Subnautica is an open-world survival game, developed by Unknown Worlds Entertainment. It was released on Steam Early Access on December 2014. The game takes place in the late 22nd century, when humanity begins to colonize planets in space. Altera Corporation, a huge intergalactic company, sends the Capital-class starship to Ariadne Arm to construct a phase gate. However, during its gravitational slingshot maneuver around planet 4,546 feet, an unknown energy pulse strikes the vessel, critically damaging the hull, making the ship crash land into the planet's ocean. The player character manages to barely escape in a lifeboat, finding themselves floating on an unknown sea with no rescue and no other survivors in sight. The oceans below hold valuable resources as well as myriad dangers. And if you want to survive, you're going to have to plumb the depths of this deep, dark and mysterious world. Number 1. BioShock is a first-person shooter game, developed by 2K Games. The game was released in August 2007.
Your genetic code is being rewritten. Just hold on and everything will be fine.
BioShock is set in 1960. The player guides the protagonist, Jack, after his airplane crashes in the ocean near the bathysphere terminus that leads to the underwater city of Rapture. Jack tries to find a way to escape, fighting through hordes of Adam-obsessed enemies, and the iconic, deadly Big Daddies, while engaging with the few sane humans that remain and eventually learning of Rapture's past. The player is able to defeat foes in a number of ways by using weapons, utilizing plasmids that give unique powers, and by turning Rapture's own defenses against them. BioShock includes elements of role-playing games, giving the player different approaches in engaging enemies such as by stealth, as well as moral choices of saving or killing characters.